Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
You have an inn and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. But now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchpoles go by there from time to keep an eye on things.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night, but he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man, for a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
Thank you, Bailiff.
Goodbye.
Is there something you need?
Well, what do you want?
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
When are they there?
Nearly every evening. Every godforsaken evening. Shouting and bellowing there till nightfall. And then they leave. Probably to get drunk.
How many of them are there?
How would I know? They make as much noise as a herd of wild boar in rutting season.
And did they all attack you?
Aye. They knocked the stuffing right out of me.
And nobody does a thing about it?
I've been to the bailiff, but he couldn't give a rat's arse. There's no commotion under his window, so what does he care?
That's quite a bailiff you've got.
A scarecrow would keep better order.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry. Bye.
Is there something you need? Has something happened?
Who's there? Hey!
You? What do you want from me?
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'll ask Punch. He'd know.
I heard you gave him quite a beating.
It's his own damn fault.
Really? He just came to tell you to go elsewhere.
That's what he told you? Bollocks! He came of his own accord. It was him started the fuss, after he'd lost all his money.
He really tried to have a go. I wouldn't think he'd have it in him.
He tried, but he didn't have much luck. He does pack a punch. But landing it in the right place, ha! I'm not surprised he's got no children. Goodbye.
Well, what do you want?
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but thanks. Why did you thrash the tanner?
Because he came by one day, lost his money, and then started on about how we cheated him and ought to give him back his coin. He was a right pest.
He told me that you jumped him when he asked you to stop making a racket behind his house.
Well, that's sort of true. But he didn't start complaining until he lost his money. Before that, it didn't bother him. Bye.
Jesus, what do you want from me now?
I've heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about...
If I knew you better, I might tell you. But as things stand...
What went on with the tanner?
When things got lively, I wasn't here. The others were, though. Go ask them.
Sure. Well, what do you want?
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but all right. What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't.
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth, and he hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his. Goodbye.
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Ah, well, you've heard more than I.
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough.
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
I want to get better at...
Are you pulling my thigh?
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man. and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise, no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar and leave him be, or get down to business.
What do you mean, get down to business?
Well, you may think you're pretty tough, and if you give us all a thrashing, we might think it over. But then again, we're no strangers to a hard fight.
If I break your arm, then you won't be coming here for a while, will you?
But I'm a fair fellow, so I'll make you an offer. If you enter our tournament and win, which means beating us all, then we'll go elsewhere. If you don't win, then you're flat out of luck and have to leave. That's not so bad, is it?
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat Weed and those three clowns. And
I want to get better at fistfight.
are you pulling my pizzle? You want me to teach you after what you did? Goodbye.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Goodbye.
Cunt! I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat Weed and those three clowns. Bye-bye.
Let's fight.
You look pretty good. But I'm betting it was just luck.
We'll see.
Bye.
God damn!
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with me.
Bye.
I see someone stealing. There's a thief here. Help! Arrest that thief! Guard! Come here, quick! There's a thief over there!
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat wheat. Bye.
Let's fight.
Last time you got me good, but now it's time for payback. Bye-bye.
Bollock!
Missed.
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat wheat and bye-bye.
Let's do it.
Last time you... Yeah.
Ah!
Fucking hell!
Ah! 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 Let's fight.
Last time you got me... Bye-bye.
Fucking come on!
Halt! Surrender! You'll have to answer for your law breaking.
Someone saw you stealing.
You should have...
Look, I'll tell you the truth, but you must...
Well, I...
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? Goodbye.
Let's do it.
Last time you... Yeah. Curse it! Yep! Yep! Oh!
You? Go away. I want nothing to do with you.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad, but now we'll... Lost...
You there! Surrender! You've committed a crime and I'm arresting you!
Enough! You were seen. You should have thought twice about what you're doing.
I won't put up with any more.
But I was just...
I want to fight.
You put on quite...
Sure.
Jesus Christ! I'll wring your neck, you cunt!
My God, I see someone stealing. There's a
Who's
thief
there?
here. Thief! God!
Are you playing tricks on me?
Let's fight.
Again? I'm still
Bye. Hey, you! Don't move a muscle!
Fucker!
Surrender! Someone saw you, Steve. Well, you won't.
I won't put up.
But
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Look here, lads. I hope I won't be seeing you around here again. Go and find some other place for your games.
All right. We'll go. But if you want to fight again, you're always welcome. I bet you'll come off worse next time.
I want to get better at fist.
Are you pulling my piss? Sure.
Who are you? Come on. Can you hear? For God's sake! There! Over there! Help! Over there! Do something! My God! Jesus, what do you want from me now?
They told me a different tale. Said you went there to fight of your own free will and lost a good deal of silver. Is that the way of it?
I did go there at first, but they cheated. And when I caught them cheating, they beat me. And now I have to hear that racket every day.
If you want, I'll take care of it.
Well,
Perhaps we'll be able...
maybe.
Perhaps I...
Well, yeah. Get out!
Now I'll teach you what... This definitely won't...
Over there! Help!
But...
Over there!
Hey, you!
God's
Don't
sake.
move a muscle!
There! Over there! Do something! My God! Over there!
My word. Oh, good God.
Beat it! What the hell was that? What do you want?
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet evening tonight.
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness. Unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
Bye-bye.
Jeez.
What?
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like? People talk.
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
The bailiff's man told me about you. The one who runs the fight club in the quarry.
Did he now? Well, I hope you trounced him. Bastard took my money at dice.
If you want, I can give him a proper hiding, just to show you I'm serious.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight, but not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius, and why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Oh, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other tests?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is...
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the...
How would I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I...
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Good luck then.
Do you seriously think you can creep around? You should have thought twice.
Oh well.
You've paid for your crimes. I hope you've learned.
I feel quite hungry.
Clear off. I don't...
I'd like to...
So what are you interested?
I'll certainly...
That can be arranged.
Fine.
I'm sure you'll be...
Shame I can't swim.
Yeah. Beat it.
Beat it!
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No.
You? Go away. I want nothing to do with you. What?
That's right.
I'll gut you like a...
Clear off. I don't want to talk to you.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes. Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel, so instead I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
Let's have a drink.
A man after my own heart. The drink's on me. And will my guardian angel here join us in imbibing? No, he will not. Perish the thought. My dear, dear lad, what a cross I have to bear. You know, after the tavern, we should pay a visit to some whores. But Manfred won't let me. Get rid of him.
Clear off. I don't want to talk to you.
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just watching him get drunk, and not having a sip yourself.
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I deserve it. But if I dull my senses in the slightest, that rogue will surely get up to mischief.
So let's drink together. And if you start to feel unwell, I'll keep an eye on him. Like you said, you deserve some fun.
I can see you're a reliable lad. So what shall we have to drink? And while we're at it, why not have a little game? May the best man win. It's no big deal. You didn't have much anyway. That's all. You're off to a good start. No point in pushing it. If it keeps going this way, I'll never get a decent game out of it. This'll be the one. We'll see. That's it. Your turn. That's it. Now you. Take a day or two, why don't you?
How much longer must I wait?
Good day.
Here. Yeah, give me a minute.
Would you let us have a word in private for a...
I would not. If I put my guard down for a sec...
I've been looking for you two for quite some time. I've been sent by the young lord's father with a message intended only for him.
So,
You must have...
There's no...
So let's drink to...
I can see you're... Sure.
A tanker, dear. How much longer must I wait?
To get my own.
What's the older?
Not afraid of anything, eh?
I could do with something to eat.
Here, enjoy it.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. Not afraid of anything, eh? That'll happen. Better you than me. No, now if it came after 3 ones... That's it.
Hey, I'm dying of thirst here. Ale for me?
We'll see.
I'm hungry. I'd like a bite to eat.
This'll be the one. Finished.
I'll bring it right away. Here you are. Good help.
I love the beer.
Yeah, give me a minute.
One ale, please.
I'll have a beer.
Am I invisible? Over here. A beer.
What's the holdup then?
Here we are.
Ah, come on. It's time I had a throw.
There. Satisfied?
Not afraid of anything, eh?
Coming.
If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going's good. Ah, come on. It's time I had a throw.
What's the holdup? Hey! Ale here!
This'll be the one. God's holy hat!
Ale for me.
As you wish.
Money, money, money.
A tankard of ale for me.
What are you bothering
I'd like
me
a
for
beer.
if you don't want anything?
God be with you.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the Lord of your feet.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bookover was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
Why does your guardian never leave your side?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every step I take and won't stop until I'm behind the monastery walls.
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money, and even my saddle and riding cloak under lock and key?
Why don't you just run away?
Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. Well, that's your problem. You could only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ? I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on one hand and the monastic life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
That's all then.
Been a pleasure.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse. You can do as you like with the ring.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those monks. Best be on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
Get my things together and disappear. I want to be as far away as possible before that old man even knows I'm gone. Sure. Farewell.
One beer.
Ale for me.
I'll have a beer. I'll have a beer.
I'll be right back with that.
Yeah.
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhof massacre... it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the Horsons who torched Neuhof.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhof too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself. Take care now.
How are you, Henry?
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone. But he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery. So there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. Take care now.
Welcome, Henry.
Good luck to you.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum et vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
Being here in the monastery is my dream come true. Being a monk is so exciting.
Well, no one's ever said that before. I'm curious if you'll still be singing the same tune in a month's time.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to. This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, the library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You, too, will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators, and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, and all the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still, I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lucas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought. Thanks for your help, and please don't say a word to anyone.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Who's in...
Truthfully,
Are there already candidates to be the new abbot?
brothers John and Nevlas. But the others have been fighting like dogs because of them. We don't have to fight about anything, though.
This John, who is he?
A circator, and really just an unpleasant old man. It's mostly the older brothers on his side, because they believe he'll protect the status quo and all the benefits that come with long service here.
Tell me something about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He's what they call the provost. He'd like to bring back solemnity to the monastery through reform and by returning to pure faith. A lovely idea, but most of the monks are against it.
Why can't novices vote?
They say we don't have enough experience to decide about anything. Don't worry, we'll get our chance.
Why is who wins so important?
We're young and we'll spend the rest of our lives here. And the abbot decides everything about our lives. Didn't it ever occur to you how powerful he is?
Tell me something about life.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
Praise be to Christ.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book.
The words mean nothing to me. Ask in the library.
Listen, brother. Is there anyone in the monastery who can help me get hold of something... well, something that's not so readily available?
Supposing, of course,
just hypothetically you wanted to get something like that, I'd turn to Brother Cellarius. They say he used to be a burglar. But you didn't hear it from me.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of it?
Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see him. He's always travelling, and on top of that, he's old and in...
And what happens when the old abbot dies?
Then we elect a new one.
Are there any candidates to be the new abbot?
Yes, there are. Brothers John and Nevlis. Cursed elections. Since the brothers began talking about them, there's only been strife in them. On one side are brothers who'd like to see John as abbot. On the other, those who support Nevlis. And they seem to be capable of fighting about it forever.
Tell me about...
John is a...
I'd like to...
Although perhaps he's too keen to change.
Why does it matter?
Because the older brothers...
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic way of life.
You're right. But we know nothing besides the monastery, and the abbot's decisions can influence our entire life.
Are there ever... Tell me about John. Are there ever any...
Unfortunately.
I understand. Tell me something about...
Prayer, work, obedience.
Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, St. Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They're read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world, beyond the monastery walls, is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue and the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged through the ages.
I'm interested in the monastery's history.
It was founded by St. Procopius 500 years ago. After his death, heretics occupied the place for some time, but then the order was restored and brothers of the true faith returned.
Heretics, you say?
They wanted to worship God with some foreign rituals in a language foreign to God. They were driven away and their books burned.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circuitors. They're the ones who maintain discipline and punish bad behavior.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yodok is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager, perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
John, definitely. Compared to him, Nevlis is young and inexperienced. John has the wisdom of age, and he already has the respect that Nevlis will have to earn.
Who's in charge of things?
Abbot P.
And what happens when the...
Then we elect...
Who would you...
John,
I'd like to ask you something. I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm the circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything's the way it should be.
And when it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishments. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like?
Brother John.
Who would you...
Brother John.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although, it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about the coin.
Will you tell...
Look, nothing...
Very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
I'll leave you be. Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please, Gregor, don't mention it to anyone.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's still awake at that time of the morning.
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pius because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it. No, but I hope I'll track him down soon. If you find any clue that could lead me to him...
I swear I don't know anything. Except that I'm not the one you're looking for.
I won't tell you more. And I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
That's all. Who would you elect, Abbot, if you could?
Most likely Nevlas. He's a fine fellow and he seems honest. But, truth be, the monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge. If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius. He seems to have taken an interest.
I'd like to ask... Well, that's all.
This is not a good time for question.
This is not a good time.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Not now, brother. After Mass. Not now, brother.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Sounds like you don't have much time for him.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
What can you...
Oh, I'm surprised...
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Who would...
Why do you...
I'm just interested.
I like John...
It should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words or words that...
Praise be to
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than...
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He does.
What can you tell me?
Not a lot.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
The rule of Saint Benedict.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
But demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts.
If you
But I can't.
The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots.
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask...
Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest...
Who would you...
Brother Nevlas.
Let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their ill, stripes, and other bodily punishments.
I'd like to know...
I don't...
Is not corrected with words. And again, speak to your son with the law.
There's something I should tell you.
You're looking for someone? But
I am a novice. At least until I...
why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister, we're subject...
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand in raising the Neuhoff farm. He's taken many...
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be. Have you told the prior? What are you going to...
Let them apply themselves to reading.
Talk to him. Then I'll see. Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the imposter I'm looking for?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me. Now I won't be able to sleep at night.
Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again...
I think that you're the man I'm looking for.
What are you on about? You can't be serious.
I am. Your secretiveness, the fact that you don't want to speak with anyone, that you keep to yourself, you're obviously hiding something.
But you're wrong. You've made a terrible mistake. I'm not the man you're looking for. I'm not. Please, don't hurt me.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual.
I'll leave you in peace for the time being.
You're a madman. A dangerous madman. I never want to speak to you again.
Manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore, the brethren should be occupied at certain times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that
You've got a strong constitution. Anyone else would have certainly died.
What happened?
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. He was lost and miserable. He had no future. He was tempted by his friends into doing some foolish things, but he wasn't truly bad, because when it came down to it, he ran away rather than keep doing foolish deeds. His former friends didn't take kindly to that, though, and wanted to punish him. So they sent a hunting dog to find him and rip his throat. The boy wasn't stupid, though, and he knew that the hound was coming. He poisoned some food, and when the hound showed up, he gave it to him. He didn't expect the beast to live, but it did. And all of a sudden the boy was sorry for what he tried to do. So he offered to make a bargain with the hound.
I think I understand you. But the beast would need to know what deal he's being offered.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. And what exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace, and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
What if I wanted a different option?
You could kill another novice, I suppose. If news of the murder got out from the monastery, my former friends might believe I'm dead. But I'm offering you a solution that doesn't require any killing. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty,
and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Salarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know how to use them, they'll be worth finding. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the prior. He carries them with him at all times.
They both sound hard to me. But needs must. And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
All right, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
That would sound more sincere if you hadn't just tried to kill me.
That's why I'm thanking you. For being so reasonable despite what I did. For what it's worth, I'm glad the poison didn't kill you. And we can both come through this alive if we work together.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working some...
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Really? This time I'll look the other way. But next time you...
And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots, as soon as they begin. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disciplined characters, he should curb by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver
Who would
his
you
soul
like to be the
from
new
death.
abbot?
Brother John.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore,
talk to me, brother.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages...
Can you tell me something about...
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden...
Is it possible...
Only the abbot and the prior.
And can I see them?
No.
I found a few pages of the torn-up book, but I still don't have them all.
Wonderful. Keep looking then. The rule of Saint Benedict.
What do you desire?
About...
Ask me anything.
Tell me...
Nevertheless... Never...
I'd like to help.
I am convinced Nevlus must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example...
So, I should dig something up on him and tell you...
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlus...
Once I find something out, I'll...
I am convinced...
So...
Exact.
I'm sorry, but...
He who aids...
Thank you for answering. What did you...
Dig up some...
What do you desire?
Brother? What are you doing here?
I was feeling a bit...
Really? I'll pretend...
Glory.
Salve Domine.
This looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
MacGregor, talk to me.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lock picks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Novices have no business here.
Novices have no business here.